What it do, y'all? It's your brother man from the motherland coming to you guys live from the NY back with another one of that oral deep pod. For those that don't know who I am him Jones at NVIC. Again, you know I represent that oral deep. Definitely got to give a shout out and say, right? I say, that's how you say it. To the ancestors. Definitely want to give a shout out, honor, respect to the creators. Definitely want to give nothing but my thank yous to all you guys that have been supporting for over the last how many years I've been doing this. You guys have always stand up, always express, always provided information that allowed me to get to that next phase. So I definitely want to thank you for that. Today we're going to talk about love, man. Verb or action that we know nothing of, that is love. Love is something that we don't know nothing about. We think we do, but we don't. Why? For numerous reasons. But one of the reasons why we don't know what love is, because we don't know how to love ourselves. We don't know how to cater and respect ourselves in order for us to do the same for others. All of us come into relationships with trauma. The first trauma is the PTSS, post-traumatic slave syndrome, and the PTCS, the post-traumatic Christ syndrome, or the PTRS, post-traumatic religion syndrome. That's the first foundation of our trauma. The next traumas that come along is the things that we go through life, whether it is, a troubled past, a violent past, the lack of understanding, education, whatever. Just an experience that you go through creates another trauma on top of those two traumas that I mentioned. And then we end up trying to put a bandage on these traumas by working hard, making money, smoking weed, drinking liquor, laying with women, laying with men. And we come to realize that no matter how much time we do that, they will never fix the trauma. And the trauma is so severe that we are seeing the after effects within our community. These traumas is preventing us from loving, because these traumas is making us believe that there's no room to love, that loving somebody has to come under the guidelines of whatever you believe in. And these things is ineffective. Loving is something that you must do, not say. And me, myself, I've been doing a lot of saying and not enough doing. I've been saying things like, yeah, girl, I love you. But when it was time to show up, that love was nowhere to be seen. When it was time to stand up, that love was all in between. I had to sit down like John McQueen. And that's just not me saying this. This is not a me problem. This is a us problem. It's a we situation. That it's easy to say the word love, but it's hard to do the things that come with love. And it was hard for me, and it's still hard, because when you spend your entire life being on the defense because we are in survival mode, it's very hard for us to open up and let a little love come in. Because for us, and I'm speaking for the warriors, it makes us feel weak, and men don't want to feel like that. Especially those that wasn't brought up in no religion, that Jesus Christ is coming to save us. I could speak for myself. I wasn't brought up into that. I went to church on Sunday because my mother said so. If it was up to me, it was a heck no. I'd rather stay home and watch cartoons. You feel me? But for real, we didn't know nothing about love. It made us vulnerable. It made us feel weak. But to find true love, you need to find that right person. See, that right person gotta install that inside of you. That person got to install that inside of you, and you have to install that inside of them. And you install it by doing the works, by standing on the love that stand with the verb and not the noun. See, if I verbally love you, then it doesn't get nothing done. It's just another word. It's just another quote. And all of us heard love before. All of us heard some type of love. Your ex told you he loved you, but he's an ex that don't love you, because he would never be an ex. She would never be an ex. Your friends say they love you, But when things hit the fan, they know where to be there. They know where to be there. You heard me? They know where to be found. You understand? For somebody like myself, who's a professional life coach, not being there is because we don't know how to get there. Nobody held our hands and said, let's walk down this path of true love. See, I lived my life not walking down that path. I didn't even understand what that was. What's over there? All these living flowers and balloons and chocolate chips and candy and, oh, I'm hurting and you came to give a helping hand? Wow, I never knew what that was. I don't know what that is. You know that I gotta go get mine, you better go get yours. I know that I'm gonna stand on mine, better stand on yours. I know, listen, I love minding my business. We know all that, but we don't know how to make each other a business. And I'm not even talking financial, I'm just talking in general. We don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. I wanna know what love is. Who's strong enough to show me? That's the question that you must have in your mind. You wanna know what love is. But who's strong enough to show you? Who's willing to embrace and take on your trauma and put it on top of their trauma and figure it out? Who's willing to do that? Not too many of us, especially in the Black community, stuff like that. Yeah, what they say, that's the thing of the old. That's what our great-great-grandmothers did. We're not doing that no more. Yeah, we don't know what love is. But we need to be the ones to show each other. It kills me when I see Black men get on these social media platforms, disrespect women, disrespect men, making songs talking about killing men, violating women. It breaks my heart when I see Black women blame men for circumstances. When I see women saying that they don't need a man, that the man is useless, etc., etc. It breaks my heart because we're saying these things from a space of trauma. We're not saying these things in a space of true love, because who knows what true love is? Will true love even exist in the Black community? Does it? I gotta just leave that question mark in the air somewhere. Does it even exist? I want to know what love is, but who to show me? And my ways had to teach me that. And even for myself, as a young Black man, I need to know what love is. I'm still learning what love is. Every day, I'm in a mental classroom with a pen and pad, understanding the ways, understanding my children, understanding my mother, understanding myself. And I know a lot of you guys is on that type of time too. And if you're not on that type of time, then you need to get on that type of time, because the time is clicking. One thing that you can never get back is time. But what you can learn from that time lost is wisdom, it's knowledge, it's understanding. And these are the things that we need. These are the things that I need. I did a lot of wrong in my life. I broke a lot of hearts, violated a lot of people. Physically, mentally, I wouldn't say spiritually. Well, you could say spiritually, because I was leading my people down a path of pure destruction when I was teaching them about the Biblos. So to a degree, spiritually, I was doing wrong, because I wasn't loving the people. I was loving the word. I wasn't loving my family. I was loving myself. I wasn't loving my children the way I was supposed to. I was loving myself. These are things that we gotta correct. Feelings we gotta reject. And let me just give a testimony about myself for a bit. Now, for some of you guys know me for being the brother man from the motherland, right? AKA the religious Taliban, here to destroy all of that. But there was once upon a time in my life where I allowed religion to navigate my ways and how I operate in life. And through that, being in that type of field or energy, you pick up religious habits and beliefs that you find it hard to break through. Excuse me. And one of those beliefs is, being with somebody that was with somebody where you feel like they supposed to be with that somebody, etc., etc. The whole shebang. Now, when I was a part of these organizations, we was fed a doctrine that said a woman that lays around is a whore, or she's committing adultery, she's a harlot, she's all of that. And you take that ideology and then you apply it to women in your everyday life, not realizing that, first of all, the stories is inaccurate, right? It's too much contradictions. But secondly, that these people are, again, individuals that's going through trauma, that's going through what they're going through, experiencing what they're experiencing to become who they are. But when they get to where they need to be and they find the right person, and I don't want to say holy, but it's match made by the ancestors. And that's how it was for me in my ways. This is somebody that literally dropped on my, literally fell right on my table, for real, not even joking. And he came into our situation, came into our relationship with flaws. We wasn't perfect. I wasn't perfect. She wasn't perfect. And any comes into a relationship, nobody's perfect, especially when it's pertaining to love or showing love. Sexual, that's not love. Sex is not love. That's lust. When you have sex based on love, that's love making. Big difference. When we come into these relationships with flaws, not being perfect, imperfection, if that person loves you when they take on that load, take on that trauma, take on these situations and these circumstances, and say, yeah, I know this is your past, this is my past, but this is going to be our future. And our future can't be a future without us together. And that's something that we as people need to focus on. We need to get away from this narrative that these Europeans have taught us, that when things don't work out, run away and step away and et cetera, et cetera. No, you dug it out. You respect that person. You respect their feelings. You respect their emotions. You just respect them just because you're with them. And my ways taught me that it's never about who you with. It's why you with them. Because when that person could have been with anybody else in the world, but they're here with you. You got a job to ensure that you respect and you honor and you protect them. And the protection comes both ways. The role of a relationship, let me just throw that out there. The role of the relationship is the participants within that relationship. Now, we heard, and I used to teach this, that the man's supposed to lead, protect, provide. But there's some men that was never designed to be leaders. There's some men that just wasn't designed to be providers. There's some men that just can't protect. It is what it is. But that's who the ancestors brought to you. That's who you navigate to. That's who you got to deal with. You understand? There's this ideology that came to me through the indoctrination with religion, but through studies and research and conversation with strong women, seeing strong women, witnessing what my mother did. My mother's a very alpha female. Like she's so alpha-less. Is the reason why me and her, we clash so much, because it's like she's alpha mentality. Alpha mentality is her way, it's my way. And yes, that caused trauma, because when I come into relationships with that mentality. It's June's way, no other way. Don't want to hear that. Sorry, come again. You understand? But through experience and being with that person, understanding the roles of that person, understanding that this is what this person's like. Your job in relationship is to fill that void where My wiz fills my void, and I fill her voids. And a lot of you guys that be in relationships gotta have that mentality too. Right? Men, you gotta realize that it's okay that if your woman takes the front seat because you don't know how to drive, it's okay. Doesn't make you less of a man. Doesn't. That's the ideology that came with America. But that foundation comes from the oppressors. The oppressors can't tell the oppressed how to operate like the oppressors. It just don't make sense because our circumstances is totally different. Right? The oppressors wasn't raped. The oppressed was. The oppressors wasn't lynched, wasn't murdered, wasn't burnt, wasn't fed to alligators, but the oppressed was. So our approach and how things is done is gonna be totally different. But at the same time, it still doesn't mean that we're not supposed to grow from that. And I know it sounds like I'm all over the place, but I just want you guys to understand. We gotta get rid of this role gender. We gotta get rid of the biblos altogether. Facts. Right? Now, how do we fix this? We fix it by looking at ourselves in the mirror and saying things to ourselves like, how do I become a better person? How do I love myself when I'm damaging myself? Mentally, physically, spiritually. How do I do these things? What can I do? What you can do as far as black people go is trying to find who you are. Focus on the rebuilding of self. Facing and challenging these traumas that I have mentioned that's led to other traumas. You have to, like I say this all the time, you guys have to face these traumas. You can't run from it. There's no running from these traumas. And these traumas is so severe that if we keep putting band-aids on it, a lot of us is going to end up becoming affected. It's going to be a worldwide virus and that everybody's going to die from it. And you're seeing we are in that phase right now as we speak. So love, being respectful, understanding yourself, correcting these traumas, and then being in a relationship and not being in a relationship because she look good or he look good or he has money and she has money. No. Being in a relationship because yes, you are physically attracted, but now you got to be mentally attracted. And of course, you're going to be spiritually attracted because it's the ancestors that brought you two together. Whether you see it or not, whether you believe it or not, that's not for me to dispute with you. Over time, you will understand like, nah, this is a fact. This is how it was meant to be. Okay? And understanding and going through that journey and being open to take on that extra trauma that he or she's dealing with and put that on your back and say, yeah, I gotta carry this load. You grab one side of the bed, I grab the other side. Like they say, you made your bed, you gotta lay in it, right? So you grab one side of the bed, I grab the other side, and we're gonna carry it. And when we put it down, we're gonna lay in it together. That's how we're gonna find this true love. That's how love is going to be shown. It's going to be received. It's going to be understood. It's going to be liked. It's going to be desired. It's going to be wanted because we all know it's damn sure it's needed and it shows. Look at our community. Look at these children. Look at these adolescents. Look at these young men. Look at these young women. And I don't want to sit here and say it's because of the enemies, this, that. We could use that all the time. We still got to, hold ourselves accountable. And that's another thing too. The lack of accountability. We have to hold ourselves accountable. Me, myself, I have to step away from having excuses, having reasons. I did wrong. I did right. Stand on the things that you've done, good or bad. You got to stand on it. And if you know that what you did was going to hurt somebody's feelings, then you should not do it in the first place. I'm just saying. You shouldn't have did it in the first place. But it's all about growth. We gonna grow. And I seen a brother from Africa, shout out to him, I can't forget his name. These African names I be butchering because they just it just be something I've never seen before. It's not a John or a Smith or a David or a Corey. It's none of that. It's literally, names. They'll have the KHIP. Like all of that would be one name. This brother was just letting it be known that, Africa will recover. Those that's in El Cabulan and also the El Cabulan kidnaps, they will recover. They have to, because their ancestors will not allow them not to. When all of this distraction comes to an end, when all of this deception comes to an end, when all this religion comes to an end, every day brothers and sisters is waking up. Brothers and sisters is realizing, wait, hold on, this is lies. Hold on, this ain't truth. Hold on, this is... a lot of us is waking up to that. And now that we waking up, we're able to look ourselves in the mirror and see our flaws. And also, we are correcting them. And if we're not correcting them now, the correction will happen sooner or later. But I just hope that I live and be alive to see the redemption of a people of the El Cabulan kidnapped. But with that being said, people, just another question. I want to know what love is. Who's strong enough to show me? It's your brother, man, from the motherland. I came to you guys live once again. Continue supporting. Leave all the comments, the positive, the negative, all things is respected and needed, because again, it allows me to do what I do best, and that is to continue keeping my foot on you heathens, you Hebrews, heathenites next. And I'm gonna see you on the next one. But remember, like, comment, share, and subscribe, people. And join the movement. I will be doing lessons for those that really want to get life coaching tips. You gotta sign a permission slip. You heard? But it's your brother, man. You understand? And I'm a hop one.
Neck of the Oppressors. Hosted by June the NBIC. This is the place where truth meets knowledge. No sugarcoating, no holding back, just real talk about culture, spirituality, and waking up from the lies we've been told. Are you ready to open your mind and challenge the narrative?